I've had trains drive off in here.
Been dropped off in a place where it took me 3 hours to get back home.
We feel disrespected, we feel like a second-class citizen.
These are stories from people trying to get on with life. The ABC has heard hundreds of accounts from people with disability struggling with transport. They want you to know that it doesn't matter what disability you have, the mode of transport you take or where you live. Getting around is harder than it should be. Neil first became a quadruple amputee after contracting meningococcal. Transport's been difficult for Neil to navigate, including on a family trip to Malaysia last year.
Halfway through the plane trip, the hostess came up and said, "We don't have a tube for you to get off the plane." So the option was that I would be carried down the steps.
The same thing happened arriving back in Melbourne, only this time safety laws prevented him from being carried off. The family were left on board for 2 hours after other passengers disembarked, as the airport scrambled to find a solution.
I was pretty disappointed in the administration. For God's sake, they should have done something quicker about it.
In a statement, Melbourne Airport said it has been upgrading its facilities, but admitted more accessibility improvements could be made. Advocates say transport systems as a whole have been letting people with disability down.
It fails because there's poor services, there's lack of consistency throughout, not just buses, taxis, aviation, trams.
All levels of government hold responsibilities relevant to air travel. Public transport sits with the states and territories, though the federal government sets accessibility legislation for them to follow. A review into the aviation sector is underway, while an audit of public transport accessibility standards is currently with ministers. People with disability want them applied and strengthened.
If those standards aren't complied with and not enforced, what's the point of having them?
The federal government says there has been improvements in accessibility and investment in recent years, but concedes people with disabilities still face issues. It says it's committed to listening to the experiences of people with disability to further tackle discrimination. Meanwhile, some people with disability are taking matters into their own hands.
12:34 a.m. Oh, so 1 minute and we're 3 minutes early. Okay, that's cool. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Santiago Velasquez is blind and an electrical engineer. He's created an app he hopes will help. Halo would allow people to notify a bus or train driver about their pick-up and drop-off locations and what supports they have, such as a ramp. That information then goes to the driver via an alert, so the user doesn't have to advocate for themselves.
The best impact that we're aiming for with Halo is to give people the ability to do whatever they want, whenever they want. Straight.
Santiago developed the app after a frustrating incident on the way to university.
I wasn't able to sit an exam because a bus left my guide dog and I behind. I arrived late. They said, "It's too late. You got to repeat this unit. Sucks to be you." List.
The 27-year-old is in talks about trialling his app. His message to transport services everywhere is simple.
Transport should work for everybody, right? That's the whole idea behind it. It's public transport. And it shouldn't be hard.